I stood there staring at the spot where Julius Caesar was stabbed 2,000 years ago. I had heard about this terrible tragedy, but had always thought it was a fictional story that I learned about in my 10th grade history class. But here I was in Rome, looking down at the excavated temple and stairs where the deed actually took place. My wife Sandy and I had taken a vacation to Italy, and we were staying in a hotel just a block away when they told us about the excavation just around the corner. Of course, we went to the famous Colosseum where thousands had been killed in the brutal gladiator fights, and also where my friend Chuck Norris filmed in a fight with Bruce Lee right there on the Colosseum floor for a movie called Way of the Dragon. We also visited the Vatican, the Pantheon, and a number of other historic spots. But the place that fascinated me the most was the spot where Caesar was stabbed by several senators, including his own friend, Decimus Brutus. Last week in Mrs. Wilson's class, we learned of Julius Caesar. The story was quite boring, but I read it just to please her. It told about a man betrayed by those who knew him well. They stabbed him in the back, and then he died, so goes the tale. Now Marcus Brutus was a man who Caesar called his friend. But when the stabbing started, there was Brutus joining in. And Caesar, with his dying breath, would slowly turn his way. He looked at him with words so grim and said, "Et tu, Brute?" The story didn't mean too much until today at school, when I was shoved and yelled at and was called a brainless fool. I thought that you and I were close, but when they bullied me, you stood there just pretending that you didn't even see. I thought that you and I were friends, but when you saw my fear, you joined in with the others as you stood there with a sneer. And then I knew how Caesar felt when Brutus stabbed him too. The words that hurt the deepest were the ones that came from you. Now, I've never been literally stabbed in the back, but I have experienced what it means to be stabbed in the back emotionally. I know what it's like to be wounded by my own friends, and those are the wounds that hurt the most. But I'm thankful for mentors in my life who taught me the principle of forgiveness, and especially the principle of living in present awareness instead of being trapped by continually thinking of past hurts and deceptions. Some people never get over the deceptive wounds administered by close friends, but the truth is that most of us have experienced that. In fact, we have probably all hurt others in our lives, sometimes unintentionally. The real issue is, how do we get over it? How do we move on? Sadly, some people never do. If you continue to live in the realm of your thoughts, the wounds will never heal. It's important to detach from your thinking and enter the stillness of presence within you. Some call it getting centered. But I'm telling you, it works. You can know a peace that transcends your circumstances, and you can live in freedom when there's chaos all around you. Too many people live in the prison of their own mind. Allow awareness to rise within you and learn to live in the present moment, not the past or the future. Refuse to be a victim of the past. Forgive, let go, and live in this present moment, because the present moment is all you will ever have.